Good morning. What is going on, men? It is a Monday. The skies are blue, and it's your boy Sydney here with you. Straighten up the hat a little. Something like that. Wow, so do I have a story for you guys? This one you won't believe. Some of you will, because you've had something similar happen to you. But most of you are not going to believe the audacity of this. Let's talk about it. So I was with my family over the weekend, and so my mother's cousin lives in Sydney, and usually when my mum and my dad come to Sydney, they stay with her. So they were at her house, and a family friend, also from the country, of my mum's cousin came over. Now this family friend was in Sydney with her brother to see her husband. Now the reason that she was there to see her husband is because her husband is in hospital with something called an LVAD, LVAD. That is an acronym for left ventricular assist device. Basically, for people who have a failing or a very weak heart, it is a mechanical pump that assists the left ventricle with pumping blood through the body. Right. I guess it's typically put in place while someone is waiting for a heart transplant or an artificial heart, which is, I guess, in essence, a heart transplant of sorts. Now, she was telling me about this particular gentleman, and I'm sure he used to be, but apparently at this stage, sitting in the waiting room, he was just sitting there all day by himself, not speaking to anyone, just so cold-hearted, so angry. You could just see that the bitterness and anger and resentment was just seething out of him while he sat there. And now this lady, she's sacrificed a lot for her husband, who's not quite himself now. So she's a country girl, and she's also old gen, so she actually cares. So she's probably a very rare exception, but she is post-wall, so not subject to being fed validation all day every day, but genuinely kind person, and really sick sense of humor, so I go along well with her. I guess what I'm actually getting at is that she has compassion, and in line with that compassion, she decided to try and make this guy feel a little better. So she'd go and buy some fruit for her husband, but she'd also buy a piece of fruit for this guy, and she would just go walk past him and just place a piece of fruit next to him. And she did this a couple of times during the course of the day. Anyway, by the end of the day, this guy actually burst out crying. Right, just like all of that anger and upset, and he was bottling up and keeping inside. It just opened the floodgates. Obviously, no one had shown him kindness for a very long time, and this guy finally spoke. And he shared a little bit of what's going on with him, and he later required medical assistance, and for a contact person to be contacted to assist with that process. Now, apparently, this poor guy. Now, guys, I want you to think about how many contacts you have saved in your phone. And some of you have a lot more than others. Some of you have a lot less than others. But I'd be willing to go out on a limb and say that not one of you watching this stream right now have only 3 contacts in his phone. Not one of you. And if you do, then you need to email me, because I want to hear your story. So this guy had 3 contacts in his phone. One was the hospital, one was his lawyer, and one was somebody else. That's how little people this guy had in this world. And you know the cruelest part? You know the cruelest thing that happened? Smash that thumbs up, guys, by the way. This story needs to be heard. It is so critical, I cannot begin to tell you. I haven't even got to the difficult bit yet. Cannot even begin to tell you. This poor guy. You know what his ex-wife's sister did while he was in hospital? Do you know what his ex-wife's sister did? She broke into his fucking house, changed the locks, and assumed ownership of his home. Just took his home. Now, also in the description below, I've actually put a resource link to squatters' right, to a law resource in New South Wales. And it refers to the squatters' rights in New South Wales and Queensland, if I'm not mistaken. Now, squatters' rights basically means that if you inhabit a house uninterrupted for more than a certain period in a state in Australia, then you can actually take over their property and take ownership of it. And that's exactly what this woman's trying to do. But he's in a hospital with nobody to help him, and his ex-wife's sister. Not even his ex-wife, right? It wasn't bad enough. Like, I guarantee you the ex-wife tried to take the house in the divorce. No question. No question in my mind. So the ex-wife didn't get the house. Maybe he had a couple of houses and she got those instead. But his ex-wife didn't get this house. So now the sister of the ex-wife's trying to take it from him. The greediness, the narcissism, the absolute contempt for the hard work, effort, and dedication of anybody else means nothing to these people. And I use the term people very, very loosely. Imagine how you'd feel, guys. You've got 3 people in your phone book. One of them being the hospital, one of them being your lawyer, and the third probably also being another professional, but maybe someone that gives a shit about you on some level. Or maybe someone that doesn't really, but you just need them. And then your heart's failing, so you have to have an LVAD put in. You don't know if you're going to die or not. You hope every day. You're spending a shit ton of money on drugs, on equipment, on hospitals, on surgery. All of this stuff. Nobody cares. And then what ends up happening? Oh well. Ex-wife's sister just took my house. Speaking of house, Marcel Harding's in it. Not this guy's house, obviously, but just the house, metaphorically speaking. And I thought I have to do a video on this tomorrow. Because you guys have got to know. What up, Taz? Big shout out to Taz the MGTOW. Good guy. Haven't seen you for a while in my videos, Taz. Good to see you, brother. I'm sorry I haven't been shouting you guys out during this, but I just didn't want to kill my flow on this one because this is a very important message. And guys, it's so important that you have trusted people in your life. Trust, and if you guys go watch the video on can you choose your family, you'll notice that you cannot choose your family, but they choose you. And it's important to make sure that the people who choose you, you don't block out. Because as soon as you start blocking these people out, you're actually going to lose a bunch of people that that really care about you. And those people that care about you will be the people that go check up on your home. Those people that care about you will be the people that house sit. Typically, generally speaking, those people that care and will do things selflessly for you Amen. And, you know, I hate to say it, but don't trust a woman to house sit for you. Because let's say you trust a woman to house sit for you for 12 months, and then they decide, oh, hey, how am I ever going to get myself a house? Oh, I know, squatters' rights. It's game over. That's just the way it is, guys. Can't trust it. Know the squatters' rights in your state or your country. Know the loopholes and know how to close them for your property if you're ever in an extended state of absence. Or even if you just have to get someone else to look after your house for a very short period of time, make sure you know what's going on, make sure you know the rules, make sure you know that you're playing the game safely. Because this guy just had it's like he almost had his life ripped out from under him. Exactly. Live free just raised a very good point. She can claim de facto relationship in Australia, never let a woman access. So if you're wondering what de facto relationship is basically, well, you're pretty much living as a married couple, but you're just not actually married. And the law recognizes that in Australia and in many parts of the US and the Western world. Love that sound. So yeah, that's what's really going on, guys. And you better believe that if a guy tried to take squatters' rights on a woman's house, she'd be saying, oh, domestic violence. Gets kicked out. No problem. Woman tries to claim squatters' rights on a guy's house, she'll go to the tenancy tribunal. She will do everything she can to delay the expulsion of her from that property until such time as she can claim squatters' rights and take ownership of that house. Unbelievable the lengths they'll go to. And I guarantee you the mother of this ex-wife and the ex-wife's sister probably were raised by was probably very entitled also. Probably thought that she deserved everything. Probably took her ex-husband for everything he had, or at least tried. This is what we're dealing with here, guys. Can you believe this? Unreal. Exactly right, MGTOW Viking. Stealing a house is sick. And yeah, it makes my blood boil too, PM Barrett. Failing heart, about to die, and the ex-wife's sister steals your house, breaks into your house, changes the locks, and then squats in the house. And if he goes anywhere near her, she's going to claim domestic violence. What rights does he have as a homeowner? Thank you, Marcel. Exactly. We men are being shat upon. When it comes to the voting booths, and I want you to share this video. Guys, if you're watching this video right now and you know someone who's gone through something like this, I want you to share this video with them. I want you to know that they're not the only one. I want you to know. And I want them to know that we need to fight back. And the only way we can fight back is by voting out the people who allow it. And the current Australian Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, allows this. Right? He's bought into this feminist agenda. This feminist bullshit. And the Labour government, oh my God, don't even get me started on that. The Labour and the Greens are such leftists that they're pretty much sharing a bowl of cereal with feminists and SJWs of a morning. Sitting around the table all with one spoon from a big bowl. Licking the froth from each other's mouths. So, Greens and Labour you can't trust. Liberal Party. The leader is a self-declared feminist. That's our current Prime Minister. We need either Cory Bernardi from the Conservative Party or Pauline Hanson, both of which are strongly opposed So all these liberal leftist views and this indoctrination in universities, this feminist mind virus, and all of these inequities, right? They actually want to restore fairness and have some sort of logic and common sense in the law. So no more Liberal, Labour or Greens. No more, guys. We can't. Another term of these guys and we're finished. We're already teeter-tottering over the brink of no return. Europe's gone. Europe's finished. Look at Sweden. First feminist government in the world, rape capital of the world. Can't make this shit up, guys. That's how ridiculous it is. MGTOW strong? I don't know, man. Look, there are still a lot of women in, I guess, that are quite conservative. We just need to keep speaking honest truths. Like, I've been speaking the truth to my dad for a while now. And in the beginning, he's like, oh, so negative, oh, you don't, just, you're being so negative about women, blah, blah, blah. But yet over the weekend, he was talking about how this whole feminist stuff is out of control. You have to slowly red pill people, both men and women, guys. And you can't do it by saying, oh, women are fucked. All women are like that. You have to show them the things that are wrong with feminism. You have to tell them how it disadvantages them. Have to tell women how feminism disadvantages them, how it makes them look bad, and how if they identify as a feminist, men are not going to want to go near them because of the damage that feminism has done to men and masculinity. And if they say, oh, just say, look, I want to ask you a question. Say this to women. Just say, would you say that men are pussies these days? And they'll be like, oh, yeah. Would you say that it's very hard to find a good, strong, masculine man? Good, strong, masculine man? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, there's barely any left. It's like, okay, why do you think that is? Why do you think there used to be plenty of good, strong, masculine men, and now there's barely any? Because feminism has told mothers that they don't need fathers in the homes, and these boys have been brought up in single mother homes. Because feminism has forced men out of the teaching profession. So now you've got only women teaching, which is teaching young boys to be girls. You've got this Me Too movement. Men don't know how to be masculine, how to flirt with women anymore, because they'll get accused of something they haven't done and have their life ruined. Because men are in the vast minority when it comes to divorces, right? In terms of the people initiating it. It's mostly women that initiate divorces, right? So men are being destroyed. Men are opting out of relationships. They're seeing what's happening to the brothers, to their cousins, to their fathers, to their sons, to their friends, to their grandparents. Right? And just say to these women, if you want a future where men won't ever do a thing for you, where they won't protect you if you're in a dangerous situation and you're being attacked, if you want a future where your sons are completely pussified by the media and by the education system, where your sons are weak little bitches, where your daughters can't find a man, instead they've got to find a mangina because that's all that's left. You say, if that's what you want for the world, then fine. You stick with feminism. Good for you. But you make the bed, but you lie in the bed that you make. And you make the bed that you're going to lie in. Right? Affirmative action. Say to this woman, if you want a future where your sons can't get a job because they're a straight white male, that might want children and a family, and might want to actually look after that family and those children one day. If you want a future where your son has no future, go ahead, keep being a feminist. Because that's what's happening right now. All this bullshit affirmative action. You know, women making more than men in the 18 to 28 age range. But yet, oh, patriarchy, wage gap. Fuck out of here. Doing better in schools. You're getting the majority of university places. You're earning the majority of money now. You've got the majority of rights. You get the majority of custody. You initiate the majority of divorces. You're making the majority of false accusations. You're taking the majority of assets and separations. You're taking the majority of jobs just because you have a vagina. If you're close to good enough, then you're good enough because you're a woman. It's unbelievable. And then they wonder why guys don't want to get married. They wonder why guys are going, fuck it, I'm going into a trade, I'm not going to university. They're wondering why guys, the attractive, the masculine guys, don't want anything to do with them. They can't understand it. But yet they call themselves a feminist. And they've bought into this bullshit that they're getting taught in university. They've bought into this bullshit they're being taught in the mainstream media. They're just buying into the bullshit in droves. And after this video, if I remember, after this video processes, when I finalize it, I'm actually going to go and I'm going to see if I can find the link by Bettina Arndt. So some of you guys don't like Bettina Arndt. I don't care. I'm not saying you have to like her, but there is a particular video interview that she does which explains where all of these feminists, where all of this leftist mind virus is coming from. And I'm telling you, it's coming from universities. And I did a video in this months back called Uni, aka Feminist Indoctrination Centers. And I referred to that concept the other day in another one of my videos. The media doesn't, it's not only that the media doesn't want to tell you what's really going on, but the media can't tell you what's going on. And I'll tell you why they can't tell you what's going on. Because all of the people reading the news now are feminists. They are women. The majority of the news readers now are women. Whenever you see a discussion panel on TV, if there's a male in it, there might be like, at best 50-50. Usually 80-20% in favor of females. Unis, yeah, MGTOW strong. The unis and colleges are cocks and feminist factory. And Taz, yes, the media is on it. Is in it. Wow. Can't even speak this morning. Taz, the media is in on it. Now, what does everybody in the media have in common? What does every person who's actually gone into the media have in common, right? And think about this, right? Newsreaders, hang on a second, I'm just gonna. So newsreaders, journalists, PR, people in communications, everyone in journalism and media is a university graduate. Think about this. And I've said many times, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't make up theories, I just analyze the facts. I'm a conspiracy analyst. And this is a conspiracy. As men, we are being conspired against. That's why it's a conspiracy. This is some real shit, guys. It's not a game. Not playing. And Taz is saying most women are dropping out of STEM fields and are going into gender studies degrees. Now, you know what's funny? You know what really, I can't even fathom the level of stupidity. When these women in gender studies degrees complain about the wage gap, I'm like, morons like you are creating the wage gap. Morons like you are creating the wage gap. Because if you were not doing a bullshit gender studies degrees, if you were not doing a bullshit gender studies degree, if you were doing a useful degree that will earn you a good income, then there would not be a wage gap. But you just want to be able to talk about your feelings instead of facts. And you know, student loans in the US are astronomical. In Australia, they're astronomical too, but even worse in the US. And why? So women can say, oh, I graduated uni. I've got a Bachelor of Arts. Please. Please. Bachelor of Arts for what? So you can talk about your feelings? So you can knit from your vagina? So you can paint with period blood? So you can make music that blames men for your problems because you fucked up? Is that why you want a Bachelor of Arts? Because I feel like that's what's happening right now. I feel like that's what's going on. And even, I mean, the closest that most women get to something like engineering is architecture. And let me tell you, female architects are all about pretty and not about function. Most of them. There's some that use the logic, not many, in the overall scheme of things, as a percentage. But most architects are just, you know, they're all about the pretty. They're all about, you know, design. And yeah, you have to be, but you also have to design something that's practical, that's going to work, that you can actually build. It's not going to fall apart. Because otherwise we have university bridges falling over. Otherwise we have university bridges at universities purely designed by women falling over. Exactly. It was a university in Florida. It was a bridge built by female architects. It didn't even last. I think it was the opening ceremony. It collapsed during the opening ceremony. So, and to give you, I mean, like let's just put this into perspective about Florida, right? If you guys go back through my videos, you'll actually find another video where a guy who owed over $600,000 in child support because he was a commercial architect. So he was a commercial real estate agent. He couldn't afford to pay it because he didn't have the money. But, you know, ex-wife's demanding it because she deserves it, right? So ex-wife's demanding this $600,000 that she deserves for 5 years of caring for the child. Doesn't cost $120,000 a year to raise a child, sweetheart. So this guy actually got on a paddleboard and paddled out to sea. Left his passport, left his wallet, left everything behind. Just got on his paddleboard and fucked off. Just disappeared. Like a boss. He took some ankle weights as well, so who knows, he might just want to sink to the bottom of the ocean and just die. This was in Florida as well, the same state where the feminists designed a bridge that fell apart in less than 2 or 3 days. Unreal. So, give me a sec, guys. I'm just going to have a quick flick through these comments. I'm sorry I can't. Eric Wade, live free, yawn. Bo, MGTOW Strong. Good to see you all. Harmonic Live, my man. Craig Jardine, good to see you. Marcel Harding. Taz, PM Barrett. Live Free if I haven't mentioned you already. All kinds of poetry. MGTOW Viking. PM Barrett. Kenshiro, good to see you as well. Harmonic Live, yes, the gender gauge rap. Speaking of the gender gauge rap, did you actually know, Harmonic, that Independent Man has signed off YouTube? He's done, he's finished. He's opted out. I don't blame him, man. The amount of negativity you would have to filter through to find all the stuff that he finds would be unreal. The media is propaganda. Good to see you, Ronicade. AP, what up? Single dad kicking fat pigs to the curb. I love that name. Most sports presenters are women. I turn it off. Yeah, exactly. Motor Frozers. I love the flutter too, brother. Good to see you're a car lover like me. Magi Alpha 1. Yeah, we have been betrayed, man. NYC Korean barbecue kettle chips. One of the main reasons why men want to get married to a beta male provider is to get him to pay off her loans. Yeah, so I don't know what am I gonna say, guys. It is what it is. Irish MGTOW, good to see you also. Motofrosis has got 3 females in his class at school for mechanics, and they said when the class were asked if we like our choice and if we think we did the right choice, a lot of them said no, just complaining too. So they've gone into mechanics and they think they made the wrong choice because they don't want to do STEM. They don't want to do mechanical engineering. They don't want to do, most of them don't want to do science, technology, engineering, or maths. They want to do things that involve people. They want to involve talking. They want to involve feeling things. Right? They want to be involved in feeling things. They want to work in a job where emotions are a big part of their job. They actually did a study on this, and they actually took young monkeys, right, only a couple of days old, and they gave some of the monkeys, they basically put the monkeys all together, and they put like trucks and, you know, sort of mechanical stuff, and then they had dolls, and the female monkeys gravitated towards the dolls, and the male monkeys gravitated towards all the mechanical stuff like the trains and cars and bikes. And this just proves, right? Women are not socialized towards their current preferences. Men are not socialized into these things. It's just how we are. It's how we're wired. These ideologues at university need to stop fighting this. It's not helping anybody at all. It's damaging society beyond repair. And they're being funded by the governments. We need to write to our members of parliament. Guys, please pick up a pad and a pen. Write to your member of parliament and express your concerns about the ideologies being taught in universities. Talk about all the things in this video, right? Make it articulate. Make it a message that cannot be ignored. They need to hear this. The future starts with us, men. Right? We create the future of tomorrow today by our actions today. Magi Alpha 1 says, women are making women unmarriageable. Huge student loan debts. Imagine a 22-year-old woman with a 6-figure debt. Any sane man would avoid a woman like this. Well, they can get up, trust me, they can get a 6-figure debt without going to college. Believe that. All they need to do is step in a shopping mall with a few credit cards. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna start rolling it back, start tuning it out. But I just wanted to share all that with you guys. Let you know what's up. Give you some real talk like I do every day. And I'm sorry, guys, that I wasn't around yesterday. I was with my family. If you want to go check out my video on can you choose your own family, that will explain a lot of it. Although it was in a bit of a better environment. But, you know, it's just good to spend time with my mum and dad and have a good conversation with the woman who told me about the topic that I spoke about today. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. Yeah, Ken, I know we can't outnumber the manginas, but we can try and show the manginas how to be men. Slowly red pill them. Slowly bring them into a state of awareness, because it's only the state of awareness that's going to get them to push back. All right, guys. Look, I got to go. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check out my video on Can You Choose Your Family, so you know why I wasn't around yesterday. Check out my video on MGTOW Uni, aka Feminist Indoctrination Centers. Explains more of the content in this video. And tune in this afternoon. I'll do another video for you guys to make up for the one that I missed yesterday. And I also have something to upload from me the other day. I did do an interview with another content creator that I want to share with you guys. So for now, I'm going to bounce. But thank you all for tuning in. Good to see you, my brothers. I appreciate you all. If you want to donate, check out paypal.me/sydneymgtow or patreon.com/sydneymgtow. If you can spare $1 or $2 a month, that would be hugely appreciated. Thank you so much, brothers. I look forward to seeing you next time. Peace.